What is up, my wealth warriors? It is your boy 25-year-old finance genius, back at it again. And if there is one thing I've realized over the past couple years, especially as I've gotten more serious about building real wealth, it is that playing it safe financially is one of the fastest ways to get stuck exactly where you are, and I get it. Trust me, I used to think the exact same way. I'd get paid, I'd stash my cash in my bank account and hesitate to invest, because I just liked seeing that number sitting there. It was growing, slowly going up, felt super secure. I didn't like taking too many risks. I would just stack cash and play it safe. And that was my mentality from like 18 to 22 years old. But then I finally started learning about investing, and I realized that this so-called safe approach I followed probably cost me years of financial progress, because I was playing the game trying not to lose, instead of playing offense. Meanwhile, other people were out there taking calculated risks, increasing their income, investing in the market, and investing in themselves. And with March Madness going on right now, the best way I can explain this is like a basketball game. When you're up 10 points and you're feeling good, you've got momentum, you've got the tools to keep scoring. But then you get comfortable, you stop attacking, you stop playing offense, and you shift into this mindset of trying not to lose. Meanwhile, the other team doesn't slow down. They keep pushing, they keep scoring, and you watch your lead slowly disappear right in front of you. I think that happened all last weekend. It was a train wreck. That other team in real life is called inflation, and it is called rising cost of living. And the problem is that these forces never stop playing offense. They never stop the full court press against you. They never take a possession offhand. They're constantly working against you, whether you realize it or not in the moment. So if you're sitting on the sidelines financially thinking you're being safe, what is actually happening is that you're falling behind one bucket at a time. It is like watching your money evaporate while you're just sitting there. So in this video, I want to break down exactly how playing it safe might be holding you back, where it is going to show up in your day-to-day financial decisions, and what you should be doing instead if you actually want to get ahead. The first way that playing it safe with your finances is holding you back is that it keeps you stuck in this constant state of hesitation, where you're always waiting for the perfect time to finally start investing. And I'm going to be real with you, that perfect time does not exist. There is always going to be some reason to wait. Something going on in your life, something in the news, a war in the Middle East, something in the market that makes you feel like now is not the right time to invest. And that waiting ends up costing you way more than ever making a small mistake would. Because the longer your money just sits in a bank account losing its purchasing power, the longer you're setting yourself up to stay at that 9 to 5, whether you like it or not. And I always like to bring this back to a real-life example instead of just talking in theory. So I'll use myself as the example here. If I had sat on the sidelines and waited to invest during, let's say, the downturn from 2022 to 2023, I'll throw up on the screen what the stock VU was doing during that time. I would have missed a huge chunk of growth that came immediately right after. Instead of waiting around, trying to time everything perfectly, seeing the markets were down, I put together a plan and started taking action. Because at that point, I was making a solid salary, but my money was just sitting in an account looking good and doing nothing for me. It was like having a Ferrari in the garage that I never drove. What a waste. I made the decision that I didn't want to work forever. I started learning about investing, and I just got into the game. Was I perfect? Not even close. Did I pick the best ETFs or stocks right out of the gate? Hell no. But I took action. I stayed consistent. And over time, that decision to stop waiting has turned into a portfolio that I'm genuinely proud of. And I'm so glad I dollar cost averaged during the years when it was down. Because on the ride back up, I was able to make a lot of money in my investment accounts. So if you're sitting there right now stressing about what is going on in the world, hearing all the fear in the media, the war happening in the Middle East, and thinking maybe you should just wait a little longer, I challenge you to tune out the noise and focus on building a plan that actually works for you, because taking imperfect action will always beat sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect conditions that will never come for you. Remember, every unnecessary delay is you firing a potential money-making employee. The second way where playing it safe financially shows up, and honestly where it hits the hardest, is in your day-to-day financial decisions, because playing it safe is a bunch of small, comfortable decisions that tend to feel harmless in the moment, but will add up over time. This could look like keeping way too much cash just sitting in your checking account, just in case instead of investing it. And do not confuse this with an emergency fund. I'm talking about just keeping excess amounts of cash. That is different from having an emergency fund, because your emergency fund should be in a high-yield savings account for a specific purpose. It is like hoarding gold bars under your mattress, while the economy is doing its thing. It is just silly. This could also look like contributing the bare minimum to your 401k because you don't want to see the paycheck drop. Or worse, not even starting a 401k because it seems too complicated. And it could even show up in things like not starting a side hustle or not learning a new skill because it feels easier just to stay in your routine. None of these decisions feel like a big deal on their own, but when you stack all these together over years and years, they will quietly limit your income, quietly limit your growth, and keep you in the exact same financial position 5 or 10 years down the road. It is a slow, silent financial killer. And the tricky part is that playing it safe in these situations actually feels responsible. You are going with the crowd here. It is going to feel like you're doing the right thing because you're avoiding risk, you're keeping your money safe, and you're playing it comfortable. But what you're really choosing is short-term comfort over long-term progress. You're choosing slightly bigger paychecks today to feel comfortable instead of investing in your future. It is like choosing to eat candy for dinner every night because it tastes good in the moment, but then wondering why your health isn't great later on. And again, this is not going out and making reckless decisions or throwing your money into random investments or putting it all on black and gambling it away. Playing it safe financially can be a psychological thing too. I'm not denying that at all, because for a lot of people, that is a very real hurdle to get over, and if you didn't grow up with much money, then finally having that cash sitting in your account can bring a level of comfort and security that you've never had before. And there is nothing wrong with that. But what I am saying is that if that behavior goes on for too long, it can quietly start working against you. And I don't want that for you guys. It is great to break those barriers and hit savings milestones you've never reached before, and you should really be proud of that. But at a certain point, you have to ask yourself if that comfort is holding you back. Because if all your money is just sitting there, and you're too hesitant to put it to work, you're waiting for that perfect time, you want to feel safe. Long term, you could be doing yourself more harm than good. Consider the cost of your life, my friends. Think about 300 hours of your precious life. What is the opportunity cost of that time just sitting there? It is a real number, a real loss. So, what should you be doing instead if you actually want to break free financially? It starts with shifting your mindset from trying not to lose to actively trying to win. Like I talked about earlier in the video with the basketball analogy, you need to have a plan for your money every single month where a portion of it is consistently being invested or saved purposefully in a high-yield savings account. That is the key there. Save purposefully. That could be saving for a down payment on a house, building up your emergency fund. It just has to be used specifically. Your investing could look like investing into ETFs, maxing out your retirement accounts, or investing in your skills to build something on the side that has the potential to grow your income. You have to get comfortable with the idea that your money shouldn't just sit there looking pretty. It should always be doing something for you at all times. Think of your money as a potential employee that can go to work for you and earn you even more money. And just as important, you need to start taking calculated risks in your life that actually move the needle, whether that is going to be going after a higher paying job, asking for a raise, starting a side hustle, learning a skill that can increase your income over time. I've made videos about all these topics, so if you haven't had a chance to go watch those, I'd go check those out. At the end of the day, building wealth is not about playing defense your entire life. That is the mindset I want you to switch here. After watching this video, it is about knowing when to protect what you have, but also having the awareness to go on offense when the opportunity is there. Especially for those of you in your 20s or 30s, you're never going to feel 100% ready, you're never going to have the perfect timing, and you're never going to eliminate all risk. But the people who actually get ahead are the ones that take action anyway. And those are the people that will adjust as they go because failure is inevitable. But you have to get up from that failure and just put your life into action. So, if you take anything from this video, let it be this. Stop waiting, stop playing small, and start putting your money into things that actually have the potential to change your life financially forever. Stay boring, stay patient, peace. So, that is all I have for this video. Give this video a like if you enjoyed the content and stayed all the way till the end. Let me know down in the comments how you are playing offense with your finances. And I'll see you all in the next video.